Hey, welcome back to Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. And as promised, I'm going to be recounting the second of three angelic visitations I've experienced this lifetime. So if you haven't seen the first one, that was actually the last video I did. It's uploaded, and please feel free. I invite you to go check it out. The first visitation I experienced was with Archangel Michael, and it does tie into this one, so it might help you understand certain things better. But again, feel free to check it out or not. Anyway, thank you for being here now and for listening to this account of my experience. Namaste. Thank you. So, before I go into the story, I just want to take a couple of quick deep breaths. Help me center and yeah, just give me a moment or take a couple of deep breaths with me. I welcome you to join me in breathing deeply a couple times. Ready? Okay, so let's get right into the story. So it was a month after Archangel Michael's visitation, which was on October 6th, 2007. And I mean, I don't know the exact day, but it was a month. It was in November of 2007 that Archangel Gabriel came to talk to me. And in this case, now if you didn't see the first visitation, Archangel Michael sort of temporarily borrowed a human vessel to come talk with me. But in this case, Archangel Gabriel came to me in a dream. And in this dream, I can tell you that, for instance, I've been working with angelic energies, but that was my first sort of awakening to it in this lifetime. But I can perceive clearly that Archangel Michael is, although angelic energy is kind of like impressionistic paintings, when you're all up close, it's like billions of lights of colors. But when you step back, you can see the whole picture better. The masterful image comes into focus. And in Archangel Michael's case, he's primarily blue. And for Archangel Gabriel, who feels also, well, to me, he felt more feminine, softer than Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael. But again, I think they also, I mean, as they've explained to me, before, they also kind of work with us in the sense that they appear to us in the ways that are most comfortable or more comfortable to us. Well, depending on what what's going on and the reason. But anyway, yeah. So Archangel Gabriel is I experienced him as softer, a little bit more feminine than Michael, and white with gold streams, flecks, shimmeriness to it. So, um, yeah, beautiful. But anyhow, when he came to me in the dream, um, the first part of the dream was he shared two the two nicknames that they have on the other side for me. Uh, uh, the first one the first one is Grand Butterfly, which if you watch the first uh, visitation with Michael, I was dressed as a butterfly, and it has come to have tremendous meaning, and in fact is why it's part of the logo of Mind, Body, Soul Evolution in the center, the butterfly. Um, but also, um, even around that time period when Archangel Michael came to talk to me, that was October 6th, 2007. And then a month later in November, Archangel Gabriel comes to me in the dream, and and even for like about a month and a half after that, there were so many syncs, so many incredible, mind-blowing synchronicities revolving butterflies, all about the butterfly. So, and yes, so it has come to have great significance for me, most especially, definitely. It is definitely an animal on my totem, um, and one of my animal guides. But not just for its transformational, transmutational qualities as they pertain very much so to my mission, um, and my role in this great shift that Gaia and her children is experiencing. Um, but yeah, anyway, so the butterfly has come to mean a lot to me, and many other animals too. But anyhow, I love all animals, plants, crystals, minerals, elementals, devas, you name it. Okay, but I love all. Okay, so, but no, but um, back to the dream here. Yeah, that was one of the nicknames he revealed that they had for me, have for me on the other side, his Grand Butterfly. Um, and then the other one was Key of Keys. And I can tell you that for both Grand Butterfly and Key of Keys, um, subsequently, since Archangel Gabriel came to me and revealed those nicknames in that dream, and that set me on a path of seeking, to understand what exactly the butterfly, why Grand Butterfly, why Key of Keys, what exactly, and what does that mean, and why are they calling me that on the other side, and what does that mean in terms of my role in this shift? What do they want from me? What am I? Is this an? It felt, well, in some ways it feels like expectations, and whatever. But it did definitely set me on a path to seeking voraciously. what that meant. And also leaving myself open to no labels, and understanding that, you know, I'm going to be the only one who ultimately, labels myself, and leaves a trademark of what I am to be labeled by my own actions, right? So yeah. So anyhow, that was the first part of the dream, and I'm still unwrapping and unfolding the various depths in the meanings of both of those nicknames, Grand Butterfly and Key of Keys. Like, I mean, obviously this shift is just getting going, really, as we're like shifting into the new age of Aquarius, which I can't wait to do that video. Yeah, I can't wait to share my thoughts on that, and start sharing my thoughts on that, let's say. Yeah, start. But anyhow, yeah, this Grand Butterfly and Key of Keys, which that most definitely set me on a path to of self-discovery, and on this journey, and discovery of purpose and mission, um, as as well as many other things. But so, and opening to the understanding that, at this point all things are possible. That's the type of expansion I'm beginning, to experience at this point. Okay, so continuing on, after he shared those nicknames with me, he then proceeded to give me a download, and this download took the form of, let's try to define it by saying that it was like compressing a file and putting it in, inserting it in my mind, and then reopening it, expanding it. And as it was being expanded and opened, um, it was like a movie playing, life, playing, unfolding, except I can't say in front of me. It wasn't like watching a film or a movie on a screen. It was more like flying through it. It was more like just soaring through it, and with him, with Archangel Gabriel, sort of at my side. And yes, in this case, the communication could be characterized as telepathic, because there weren't really words being exchanged in the form of, like sounds like we would in this third dimensional realm. It wasn't like that. Um, and it was immediate. As soon as I thought, or as soon as I had a question, the answer was there. I heard him. I heard him, and vice versa. Um, as we were flying through this unfoldment of what apparently was, the results of the choices that the humanity as a collective has made thus far. Okay, so Archangel Gabriel was flying me through an unfoldment, showing me the the unfoldment of the culmination of the consequences, the reaping of the consequences of the choices humanity has made thus far. Um, what that timeline unfoldment would look like. Um, And not, you know, it didn't go like eons into the future. It literally only went like 40, 50 years at most. And this video has been really hard for me to do, to sit down and record and do this one for you guys because, um, well, you know, there's a lot in the New Age community right now where, you know, you can't bring up anything negative, you know, like, and all this, you know, fake positivity, false positivity, and toxic positivity. And also, what is more and more looking to me like just out and out denial of the truth, denial of what is actually happening, and looking away of from unpleasantries. Which what has that garnered us historically? I can say nothing good. Okay, ignoring what's already happening has never brought anything good. Okay, uh, so uh, yeah, the reason it's been hard for me to do this video, one of the reasons, one of the reasons it's been really tough is because I'd like to say that it was so beautiful and it was heavenly, and you know, and all this other stuff, the unfoldment, that Archangel Gabriel showed me that we flew through, but no, uh, no, no, no. Yeah, Eckhart Tolle's quote about the fact that this shift is happening because it needs to happen. Yes. Um, you know, the fact that all these prophecies worldwide, you know, from indigenous cultures across the globe, from, you know, throughout history, seem to all be culminating, you know, here and now. The fact that, you know, like the Maya calendar goes blank at 2012 and people think it's an end time prophecy, but no, it's actually more of a tabula rasa, a blank slate, so to speak, like an destiny is unwritten, is for us to write our own destiny for for the first time, you know. Humanity can potentially gain the ability to write its own destiny. That's what we're looking at. So we're at a crossroads right now. And Archangel Gabriel was showing me the unfoldment of the timeline the collective masses have chosen based on current decisions, uh, the current mass collective decision, which I hate to tell you guys, it's not pretty. Uh, yeah, you know, the scientists' warnings about, you know, global climate change, for instance, and global climate change deniers. And, you know, I'm not, I see, I want to tell you the things that Archangel Gabriel showed me. But it's not, you know, I don't, first, I want to preface it by saying real quick that this is not, please don't mistake what I'm trying to bring here. This is not a message of doom and gloom, not at all. No, it's actually quite the opposite. So hear me out. Hear me out before you decide, oh, this is potentially negative, you know, all this other stuff. But if we're going to look at reality, we're going to look at reality. And reality in this third dimensional domain is dualistic in nature. Yes, yin and yang, you know. So, you know, the good is defined by the bad and vice versa. The light by the dark, vice versa, you know, of course. So, you know, the two are needed in order to experience third dimensionality. You know, the feminine, the masculine, you know, the logical, the intuitive, the 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 light, the dark, you know, all of that. So that is the nature of experience. you experience one because of the other, right? So in this kind of I guess that somebody's trying to message me right now, but okay, so in this unfoldment that Archangel Gabriel showed me, okay, let's just break it down, okay? Because basically I saw um, there were several external factors that were uh, escalating, and like pressures were mounting in various ways for Earth and her peoples. Okay, so um, as we are all well aware, okay, I don't, but I'm just sharing with you what I saw as we were flying through. Um, And some of these things have already happened because this was, like I said, this was November 2007. One of the things I saw was that we were going to have in the U.S., we were going to have an African American president, and that was before I knew. I know it was November 2007, but I personally had not ever heard of or seen or known about Barack Obama. At that point. So, when I saw that in the dream, I was like, oh, that's peculiar. That's cool. That's interesting. That's new. Um, and sure enough, that happened, and well, he's, biracial or multiracial or whatever. But, anyhow, yeah. Yeah, human races. It's a fucking construct. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so uh, then, then, the next thing I remember that caught my attention that occurred that I had seen in the dream that Archangel Gabriel showed me was the identification of the Higgs boson particle at CERN, at the Large Hadron Collider, right? So, and that, my friends, is significant. Big time. Don't let them fool you, okay? Because see, I remember when they came out with the news that the God particle had been found, had been identified, and actually, this might be um, one of those things that can be ascribed to those. I don't know if you've heard of the Mandela effect. Where it seems that timelines have split, and some people attribute it actually to the work that's being done or has been done at CERN with creating rips, quote unquote, in space time and wormholes that perhaps are beyond their control. This is what people fear or have conjectured, and that has potentially caused this splitting of timelines and this Mandela effect in which a group of people may remember history or may actually have read and have grown up learning history, certain aspects of history a certain way, and then a whole other group of people heard a whole different and entirely different version of history. And this is termed the Mandela effect, and you can look that up. I'm not going to go any more into it right now, but I seem to have observed something like that may have occurred with the identification of the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, okay, which was called goddamn particle originally by the scientists who were like pissed off because they couldn't friggin' find it for years. But then they, when they finally identified it, they publicly decided to, for the presses, they decided to drop the damn part and just called it the God particle, but the Higgs boson particle, okay? And its identification, which I also read an article sometime later, approximately maybe a little less than a year later, after its identification, in which CERN was doing releasing a public statement saying that the that they regrettably weren't able to find any significant applications for the for this uh, much sought after Higgs boson particle. And let me tell you something. That by the way is a load of shit, because um, yeah, Archangel Gabriel showed me the identification of this particle is is huge, and it's going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a whole lot, kind of like the ohm to OHM, ohm to electricity, right? So and radio waves to radio, before it was actually developed and manifested into the physical. Uh, when Marconi was just talking about it, for example, and he sounded nuts or whatever, yes, it's highly significant. And they're trying to play it down because some of the applications are quite astounding, in fact, okay? And really, I mean, going to change the way we live on this planet. But anyway, before that, I saw, as we were flying through this unfoldment of this timeline that the masses have chosen currently, it was a lot of things, critical factors were mounting in pressure. For example, political tensions, international political tensions were mounting as they are. Um, uh, More and more, like increasingly so, like to threatening levels. Um, while other pressures were mounting, like for example, environmental with with the global climate change, and global climate change deniers can say what they want, whatever, but I mean, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. You can't keep trashing irreverently, living luxuriously and contaminating your own habitat, well, like crazy, and expect there to not be any sort of results, or for there to be any at some point. Um, there's going to be an instability created in the current ecosystem, in the current balance in the ecosystem is going to be altered, right? So, and what does that alteration look like, and what does it um, cause? And that's what we're looking at, the results of that, right? So, it's just, it's just consequences of actions. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to look at it because it's negative. No. How about we look at it so that we can get through it to actual viable positive solutions. That's positive. Okay. So anyhow, but going back to the dream, Archangel Gabriel was showing me that it was this mixture of all these factors escalating and mounting, um, like all the prophecies say. And this is a grand shakeup, yes, that needs to happen if we are to truly slide into that age of Aquarius, a different mindset, a different way of living than we have had. We're going to have a global mindset shakeup in order to experience a global mindset change. So, yeah, it's not necessarily going to be just a smooth, easy ride, and that's it will be what ultimately it will be what it will be. But yes, he showed me that this identification of the Higgs boson particle will help us to understand also how to manipulate matter at its purest levels, purest energetic levels. Think about what that means, okay? So that brings within reach some of that, like sci-fi technology we see in like Star Wars, Star Trek, the Trekkie, like food generators and replicators, whatever, this sort of thing. That's not so far-fetched, and it's not so far into the future, okay? Also, because the thing about it, if we can change any kind of matter at its most basic energetic level into, like restructure its molecular structure into, I don't know, just about anything else or whatever, think about the implications. Think about the implications of that. Also, what would be the need for currency at that point? If we can, I don't know, I mean, like, this may sound far-fetched, but if I can take this, like pieces of paper and shove them in a machine and press some buttons and get a sandwich, what's the point of currency? Um, I don't know. I mean, um, a lot of things are going to change very rapidly on this planet because they have to. Yes, they have to, because what we have now, all the escalating issues we have now currently are a direct result of the choices that we've made as a collective and the actions that we've taken. So now, much like His Holiness the Dalai Lama has said, even in recent times, he has said, um, yeah, meditating is great. Prayer is wonderful, and they both work, but they're not enough anymore. And we can't keep crapping on our planet and on ourselves and on each other when everything is interconnected and expect there to be no negative consequences and simply have it all cleared up for us by just either going into a meditative practice or praying to a being outside of us, a divine being, to just divinely clean up our mess for us. It doesn't work that way. Okay? And that is what, Archangel Gabriel showed me, that he didn't show me any kind of like World War III. However, the consequences, the results of our collective actions on this planet thus far are cataclysmic. Make no mistake about it. And but the highlight, though, the best part of the message was that he was telling me that although, yes, the proverbial shit is going to hit the proverbial fan on different levels, in many ways, in this 3D world that we have shit on, because, as I said, everything is truly interconnected, and until humanity really truly gets that as a whole, as a collective, it doesn't mean that we have to be spotless, perfect, flawless, with no, stray members of the species, like, no, but as a whole, overall, the collective actions have been based from and have come from our lower natures, and the creations that we have, that the divine's creations that we, that as the divine's creations have then created, have not been divine. okay, have been less than divine, and now we are reaping the results of that. And um, Gabriel was saying, I mean, the whole point of him showing me this was because the grand message was that it's not too late. It's not too late. We do, in fact, find ourselves at this crossroads, at this beginning of this big shakeup, this big shift. And yes, things are going to happen. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not even going to go into all the descriptions of everything I saw, because yes, I did see a lot of cataclysmic things converging all at once with the global climate change, political tensions, international strife, misuse and mis uh, distribution of resources, of vital, necessary resources for all living beings, and I'm not just talking about humans on this planet, because it's not just about us. It's not just about anyway. Yeah, he showed me. I mean, despite the fact that this seems and it looked as I was flying through with him. Uh, I was like, I didn't want to get to the, where's this going? Where's the end of this movie that we're flying through? I didn't want to see it. Okay. Um, but I did. I saw a lot. And yes, we've already begun to see some of these things that I'm talking about. The grand reveals are already beginning to occur in different sectors of living on this planet, life and living on this planet. And it is incumbent upon us to learn, because that was Gabriel's, that was our Archangel Gabriel's biggest, you know, uh, headline for this dream, for this movie, this that he took me through, for humanity, for humanity's choices thus far, is that it's not too late. It is not. Don't let anybody tell you it's too late. Don't even allow that possibility to permeate your awareness. Okay, because it's not even. That was the whole purpose of him showing me this. Well, there would have been no reason otherwise, because we can still change this. We can still choose otherwise. Okay. And it's not about, I'm not here trying to tell you that I'm the savior. I'm going to save the planet or this or that. No, 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 no. Please don't misunderstand. For one, I don't even fully understand my mission as of yet, and the full, all the parts, the moving parts of my role that I'm to play in this shift, this great shift for humanity in this world right now. Okay, but as we are all working to, uplift and ascend. Okay, because that's ultimately what is going to happen, because we don't even need, that's another thing. He showed me we don't even need a simple majority, like at least 51%, in order to reach critical mass, the point at which the automatic uh, unfoldment is set off, chain of events is just set off. No, we don't have to wait until we reach 51% or whatever. He showed me that critical mass will be reached at more like a third, more like a 32, 33% of humanity needs to open up to the possibility that this is possible, that we can live differently than we have lived thus far, that we don't have to live from fear, or create from greed, or treat each other with uh, you know skepticism and instead of love, because we need to, because the time has come to realize that we need to. It's no longer, I mean, that was the whole point. That was the whole point. Gabriel showed me that these things that I don't even want to go fully explain, because he was saying we don't have to do that. We can actually, and it's as simple as, like I said, just, we don't need to worry about saving each other, because this World War III, this third global war is a spiritual one, is one that's already taking place. It's already been taking place. It's already been unfolding, but it is culminating now, and so that we can shake things up within each and every single one of us, so we can each have the opportunity to hear the call to rise to our next evolutionary step as a species, to grow, come out of our infancy and grow up a little bit, even just a little bit, enough to understand that yes, we are truly, in fact, indeed, all connected, and shitting on each other is only shitting on ourselves anyway, right? Yes, the whole karma thing, the karmic laws of the universe are real, because everything is connected. So, if I pull here, something somewhere is going to feel that pull, right? So if I shit over there, something somewhere is going to feel that shit. And that's only going to end up coming back to me, because that animosity is not done away with, right? Energy doesn't get destroyed. It only gets recreated, transmuted, transformed, redirected, many things. But if we have an opportunity right now in front of us, we're at this crossroads that so many of us are evidently, obviously feeling at this point. We know it is occurring. There's no denying it. We are slipping and sliding into that age of Aquarius, baby, right? But it is going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. And, well, kind of like, like in Buddhism, we don't go into denial about reality, about the nasty or ugly sides or aspects of reality. No. That's the surest way to have reality bite you right in the ass harder, right? So instead, we remain the ever observer, and see it fully as it is, as it truly is. The good, the bad, the pretty, the ugly, of all the consequences and the results, the direct results of our actions as a collective on this planet, and how, prayer and meditation, beautiful, necessary, of course. I do it every day. I do lots of it every day, and it's a sure way to begin this mind, body, soul evolution, right? That's what I mean. That's why I called it mind, body, soul evolution, because it's going to take each and every single one of us looking within ourselves this time, and decide how we're going to answer this calling at this crossroads of humanity that we find ourselves at. Are we going to keep on shitting on our habitat and wondering why we are being poisoned and why everything's becoming toxic? Or are we going to at least err on the side of caution and redirect our co-creative efforts towards creating and living from our higher aspects, from the aspects of ourselves that we know help us thrive, not just survive, not just even tread water, like, you know, like not drown, you know, but no, more, you know, how do we thrive is by helping each other thrive, by lifting each other up and realizing that that is where we find ourselves at right now. This is what we're being asked to do. We either learn to collaborate and cooperate as a species for our own collective betterment and the betterment of this whole entire planet, which is how we live a fruitful, abundant, wonderful life that is it going to be you know, free of any suffering at all whatsoever? Probably not. Of course not. You know, that, you know, how would we appreciate the beauty otherwise, and the love otherwise? But at least we'll make it through together. And I know we can bring heaven here on earth. And it's just an internal decision away from each and every single one of us, an internal decision away. You decide what you're going to, how are you going to respond to this mind, body, soul evolution that is already taking place underneath it all within each and every single one of us. Because your responses, that's where we're at. Your responses will help sway and dictate which way things are going to go for this planet and for this world. So I'm ready to make it beautiful. I'm ready to come from my heart with a capital H, as always. So yes, this has been, you know, my share of the second angelic visitation that I had with Archangel Gabriel, which was beautiful, magnificent, wonderful experience, which I'm so glad to be finally sharing. And there's much more to come. But anyway, so much love for you guys, as always. Please feel free to share, or if you have questions about anything I've said, or if you have similar experiences, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to share. Next will be my third and last angelic visitation. Until next time, much love from my heart, as always.